Today, I'm going to be making this Sonoma Georgetown Cupcake Dark Chocolate Cake Mix. And this is the Georgetown Cupcake Chocolate Frosting Mix. This Georgetown Cupcake is actually the name brand, and they're out of Washington, D.C. But I bought these at Sonoma. The reason I bought them is because they were on sale. So the cake mix, the original price of the cake mix was $16.95. I got it for $9.99, $10 for a cake mix. The frosting was originally $16.95 and I got it for $7.99. So I would never ordinarily pay that much for a cake, but I thought, you know what, I'm getting it at a really good price, and so, well, I'm getting it at a good price for Sonoma. It still isn't a good price, but it's a good price for Sonoma, so I will try it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the cake mix. What you need for the cake mix is you need 8 tablespoons, that is 1 stick of unsalted butter at room temperature. And we've put it in the microwave to just kind of let it get soft. You need 2 eggs. And then you need a cup of milk, and then you also need the packages that are included in here. So let's see what you get. It says you get some sugar mixes in here. And it is sealed. This box is sealed really good. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and then I'm gonna do 2 round pans. You can do 1 sheet pan. It says if you're doing 2 round pans, they want you to grease the bottom, put your parchment paper in, and then put a little bit of vegetable oil spray on top of that. So there are 2 mixtures in here. This is your Fine Baker's Special Sugar, and this is a chocolate layer cake. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to beat the butter on medium speed until it's creamy, about 1 minute. Now we're going to add our sugar mixture that we got in our bag, this one right here, and we're going to beat this until creamy as well. At this time, we're going to add our eggs 1 at a time. This is really light and fluffy. So at this time, we want to start adding our cake mix and our milk. And you want to alternate between the cake mix and the milk. We're going to start out with the cake mix and then add a little bit of milk. And then we're going to keep going until it's all finished. So I'm going to start out with some cake mix right now. And then next I will add a little bit of milk to this. Now you want to take your mixture and try to divide it evenly between your 2 pans. This is where if you're making just 1 big sheet cake, it'll be a lot easier. This is like a UK cake mix. It's very thick, and their cake mixes in the UK are much thicker than ours. So I'm going to do this a little at a time. I'm going to spread it out a little bit, and then I'll see how much I need to add to try to get it even. I'm going to put both of these in the oven, and we are going to bake them. It says for 33 to 36 minutes when a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. So I'm going to set my timer for 35 minutes, and then we'll be back and I'll let you know how long it actually took. The directions for the cake said to bake these for 33 to 36 minutes. I ended up leaving mine in for 36 minutes. And I'm going around the edge. They've been out of the oven for 15 or 20 minutes now. And you want to leave them on your wire rack for that amount of time. And then we're going to turn them out onto the wire rack to finish cooling completely. Now I'm going to flip them over onto my wire rack. And hopefully they come out. Ah, yeah. Came right out. And then here's my paper. Yeah. And now I'm going to leave them here to cool till they're almost completely cool. And then we will start working on our frosting. We're going to make the frosting now. And for the frosting, you need 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk, which I have in here. You need 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature. This is definitely a room temperature. It has been sitting out since we started working on the cake. So the whole time we were making it, it was in the oven and everything. My unsalted butter was sitting out. And then in this box, the only thing you got was this bag of frosting mix. I just went ahead and opened the box because it was easier than doing it on camera. So you need to get out your whisk attachment. And you want to beat the butter on medium speed until it's light and fluffy and double in volume. So it says it's going to take about 5 minutes. So our butter is light and fluffy. What we're going to do is we're going to add our frosting mix in 3 additions. We're going to add a little, and then after each addition, we're going to scrape the ball. So I'm going to put some in there. You want to mix it on low, and you want to do that 3 separate times, and you want to scrape your bowl down 3 separate times. So there's my first addition, and then I'm going to scrape it down and add more until it's all gone. The box says is blend in the milk 1 tablespoon at a time until the frosting is smooth and spreadable. I'm going to switch my attachment on this because it's not wanting to mix in the milk with this attachment. So I'm going to clean this off, switch to a paddle, and then come back. And just so you know, the directions never told you to switch, but I feel like I need to. See, that's already mixing in better just from switching. Now I'm just gonna frost the cake. I'm gonna pull one over and leave it just like this. And the picture on the box shows just the middle and the top frosted. It does not show the sides frosted. So I'm gonna just plan to do it that way. But then if I have enough frosting, I'll of course do these sides as well. But if I don't, then I'm just gonna do it the way they did it. Definitely do not have enough frosting to do the edges because it is so thick, but it did cover it really well. I think it's pretty though, in its own way. So now I will cut us a slice and we'll see how it looks on the inside. So you're supposed to get 14 slices of this cake. So
yeah, now slice each half of that into 7 pieces.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll cut it the way I would normally cut it. not like this. But now normally I would cut it like this. And then the other. So how many is that?
8.
Oh, seriously?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So there's supposed to be half of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like this.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
And do it again.
Mm-hmm. And then I actually give you 16, which is a little more than what they said, but.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull one of these out for us to see. And show it to you. So that's how it looks on the inside. So I told you in the beginning that Georgetown Cupcake was founded in 2008 in Washington, D.C. That's true, but these are actually made for exclusively for Williams-Sonoma in San Francisco, California. So these aren't actually being made for Williams-Sonoma in Washington, D.C. They're being made in California, and I wanted to be clear about that. It says 1/14 the package of the cake prepared is 270 calories, and then for a 12th of the frosting, 2 tablespoons is 200 calories. I'm throwing it out there because I always do. If you're eating a piece of cake, just eat the piece of cake, you know, enjoy it.
I don't think you'd have a hard time splitting it up evenly anyway. You have to weigh everything if you really wanted to.
Keep in mind, this was 10 and 8. So this was an $18 cake, and that is not including the little bit of milk I had to use, all that butter, the eggs.
It's not a bad cake. The cake itself is dense. It doesn't have a bad texture, it's just a little dense. The frosting is not really sweet.
It's not sweet at all. I mean, a little.
I don't think it's not as dark and like bitter as a Devil's Food, because Devil's Food's pretty dark.
Yes.
It's not that kind of dark. It's more of a, I don't even get a really strong bitter flavor. I mean, it's dark on the darker side of chocolate, but it's not bitter. It doesn't have that bite of dark chocolate.
No.
So it's not dark chocolate. It's not very sweet. That's the biggest thing. And we're used to very sweet cakes. I just don't think it's worth the money.
The money, that's the thing.
I think it's a good cake, and I could sit here and eat every bite of this. I could eat every bite of that cake over there. I could eat the whole thing in 2 days, literally.
Yes.
But
is it any better than a Duncan Hines cake mix?
I don't really think.
I don't think so.
It's different, but I don't think it's any better.
Right. It's
not $12 better or whatever.
Absolutely not. No, it's truly not. And truth be told, I don't know which one I would pick if I was doing a blind taste test. I just have no way of knowing. And I don't plan on spending this much money. Again, they did have other cake mixes when I went in there. They had other cake mixes on sale. And I thought, you know what? I'm willing to buy one and do it one time, because I've never tried a Williams-Sonoma cake mix, and to have that on the channel, I think it's good to let other people know. There's no way I would ever pay full price. No way. Even if I won the lottery, I wouldn't do that, because it's no better. I don't think it's any better than a Duncan Hines.
It isn't.
I really don't.
It isn't. It is good.
It is good.
I don't want you to think it's not good.
But Duncan Hines is good too.
Yeah, it's equally as good,
Yes.
and it doesn't cost. It costs an eighth of this, or
Yes,
whatever.
exactly. So even though yes, it's good, do I think that it's worth specifically going to Williams just to have that name? I'm not a snob like that when it comes to cake mixes. I'm willing to buy Duncan Hines and
Whatever.
Pillsbury and Betty Crocker and Ghirardelli. I'll buy all those brands, and so I'm not a snob when it comes to having to have this kind of name. I just would not feel good about spending that kind of money when I know I can go to a grocery store and get something else that's just as good.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of what the difference is. Really, the texture's no
There's
that much
nothing wrong
different.
with it. It's a very good cake mix. And if I had spent the same money or even just a little bit more, then I'd be like, okay, you know,
Yeah,
this is
try it out.
a fancy store. You should try it out. I'm going away telling you, absolutely do not. You're just going to feel bad if you do.
Unless you just want to spend the money.
If you just want.
I mean, there's a certain.
Or how do they do it?
There's
Yeah.
there's
That's the right
a
way.
certain people that go to Williams Sonoma and buy things. There's a group of people that buy from Williams Sonoma that we are not.
We're not those people.
We're not those people.
Because I'm telling you, you don't
Yeah.
need to do that. You do not have to do it's. I thought, am I going to come out of this thinking, ooh, this tastes like a bakery cake since I spent so much money? No, it tastes like a regular chocolate box cake.
Actually, the bakery cake's probably cheaper to make than a regular box cake. But
Okay, from this brand,
Yeah.
yes. I could probably go to the bakery at Kroger and buy a cake cheaper than what I spent on this.
So anyway, I don't want you to go away thinking this is bad though. It's not. It's
bad.
good cake.
It's a
just
good
the cost.
cake. Yeah, it comes down to the cost. That's the bottom line. It's way, 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 way overpriced. So I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.